Ladies and gentlemen, Kenyans are very, very excited. Majority of Kenyans are very, very happy. News hitting the airwaves about the resignation of Meg Weitzman, the American ambassador to Kenya, were music to many Kenyans. Many people were very, very happy with her resignation. The American ambassador has written and informed Joe Biden that she is going to resign. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to make a number of remarks about the American ambassador who was very, very controversial, who found herself in the thick of things, who found herself working very, very closely, being very, very cozy with William Samoei Ruto administration. Since she came to Kenya, she has been part and parcel of William Samoei Ruto's government. Number one thing that I want to make is that it was obvious that she would be recalled by Donald Trump. It was obvious that her term was coming to an end. It was obvious that looking at Donald Trump and the way he works and the way he interacts with especially developing countries, you realize that Meg Weitzman would not serve Donald Trump. The real Donald Trump is not Joe Biden. It's very, very different. So, all said and done, it was expected that she was going to leave the country. The other issue is that since Donald Trump was elected the president of the United States of America, Meg Weitzman was actually receiving backlash from Kenyans. Kenyans were very, very disgusted with her. Many Kenyans were trolling her. Many Kenyans were asking her to resign. Many Kenyans wanted her to leave with Biden administration. And because of this, I think she was very, very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. Imagine you are in a foreign mission, you're in a foreign country, you are an ambassador, but the resident, the citizens don't want you. Wherever you go, Kenyans don't want to see you. So this is the situation that Meg Weitzman found herself in. She had turned out to be the punching bag. And Kenyans were very, very mad with her because of being very, very close to William Samoei Ruto administration. Again, I noted that this lady is a coward. I noted that this lady was feeling insecure. When the Gen Z were demonstrating, she disappeared, never to be seen. She only surfaced after the administration of William Samoei Ruto was able to contain the riots that were rocking this nation. In fact, I understand she had gone back to America. She is a coward. She felt insecure. And I think she was living in fear. She was not comfortable at all. One thing I know about these white men, the whites, we may call them the whites, although they are not whites. Most of them are, okay, they are not white because they don't look like snow. So what their race is that these people are usually cowards. They fear Africans. Even when you see them talking, they fear Africans very, very much. And I think this is what happened to our unpopular ambassador. I don't know what you would tell Weitzman if you are to meet her today. Remember the way she interfered with the Kenya general elections, the way she was actually against Azimio clutching the presidency, the way she prepared the international community that William Samoei Ruto was winning. Again, she was very silent during the abduction. When Kenyans were being abducted, when the youth were being abducted, when they were being arrested, during the extrajudicial killing practiced by this administration, she was silent. In fact, she refused to sign a communique that was signed by the European countries, Germany, Britain, France, Belgium, name it. The American ambassador refused to sign because in that communique, the ambassadors, the foreign missions, were against the abductions. They wanted William Samoei Ruto to stop the abductions that were taking place in this country. The other issue is that when you look at her, she behaved like a cabinet secretary in William Samoei Ruto's government. When you look at her, she was more of a politician than an ambassador. When you look at her, much as we may try to say that she was representing her country, we cannot deny the fact that she was more of a politician. Many people not even differentiate her with William Samoei Ruto's cabinet secretaries. But there are some things, there are some good things that she said. In the next video that I'm going to show you here, just in the next 3 minutes, you realize that she was lobbying for investors to come and invest in Kenya. She was talking about Kenya being a financial hub, a gateway to East Africa, having a vibrant youth, very energetic population, young population, and a center of ICT. So she was somehow trying to market Kenya. She was in love with Kenya. But all this was meant to praise William Samoei Ruto. And I want you to watch this video and see what she is saying. Because the only thing I don't agree with her is about Kenya being a model of a democracy and praising Kenya's elections. Watch, guys.
Now that's how I'm talking about Africa to US businesses. Let's zoom in on how I'm talking about why Kenya should be everyone's destination in Africa. Kenya is the most stable democracy in Africa. Kenya is the gateway to the East African market of almost 500 million consumers. Kenya is the regional logistics hub. Kenya is the leading regional financial hub. And Kenya, with its Silicon Savannah and super smart engineers, is the region's ICT hub. Kenya is a leading destination for foreign direct investment and venture capital. And Kenya has a young, educated, entrepreneurial, and English-speaking workforce. Kenya generates, as I said, over 93% of its energy from renewable sources, and Kenya's largest export market is the United States. Let me repeat, Kenya's largest export is the United States, and we feel Kenya is ready for liftoff as it diversifies. Let me unpack a couple of these areas. Democracy. I arrived in Kenya days before the August 22 general elections. What I witnessed was nothing short of remarkable. Kenya held what many analysts and commentators say was the freest, fairest, and most credible election in Kenyan history. The elections were observed by international and local election organizations, and the results were upheld by the Kenyan Supreme Court, and power was transferred orderly and peacefully at the time. Now, gateway to East Africa. As I said, Kenya is the gateway to East Africa. 80% of East African regional trade passes through Kenya's Mombasa port. In addition, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi is the busiest airport in East Africa, served by 40 passenger airlines and 25 cargo carriers, including FedEx and DHL. Kenya also has some excellent infrastructure, such as the Standard Gauge Railway, a series of new roads, and modern ports. From a financial and technology hub perspective, Kenya is already the regional financial hub for East Africa. Several international banks have been present in Nairobi for decades, and five major global financial institutions like the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund have established their regional headquarters in Nairobi.